Hello everybody, I'm Captain Nitin Joshi, soft skill trainer and writer. Now this being a festive season, we recently did some decluttering exercise at home, and some very interesting things have happened. First and foremost, obviously, since it was a decluttering exercise, we got rid of a lot of clutter. There are so many things that we accumulate in our house or in our workspaces that we feel that, oh, one day I might need this, and we keep it away somewhere. On the loft, in the wardrobe, in one of the cupboards, or in a drawer, and then we don't really need it. And over a period of months and years, the only thing that these things do for us is to occupy space and create clutter. And one fine day we say that, oh, this is something very important which I have to keep somewhere, but there is no place, not realizing that the place has been taken up by the clutter that we have created. Another thing that happens is some of these things that you feel that you have misplaced or lost somewhere, you find them somewhere in that clutter. And not surprisingly, because when you have a lot of clutter around you, a lot of unnecessary things, piles upon piles of unnecessary things, it's very easy for things to get lost in that clutter. But the most interesting thing that happens is when you are doing this spring cleaning or occasional decluttering of your space, you discover that you have so many things which you never knew you had. Doesn't it happen that somebody gifts us something, or maybe we buy something very good and then we put it away somewhere, and then over a period of time we forget about it? And then when you're doing this decluttering exercise, you discover that, oh, I have this thing. Now, all of us, I'm sure, must have experienced this kind of a thing in our houses or in our workplaces. But what I want to ask you today is, how many of us do a similar kind of decluttering exercise or a spring cleaning exercise for our minds? Just like our physical space, it's equally important that we do the same kind of spring cleaning and decluttering for our mental space. Now, some of you must be wondering, how exactly do you do that? Well, first and foremost, let me tell you this, that just like our physical space, our mental space also gets cluttered, filled up with unnecessary things like our beliefs, things like our prejudices and biases, things like our opinions, or things like certain set of rigid thinking that we are not able to get rid of. Because our senses and our mind keep getting a lot of inputs throughout the day. A lot of this input goes unprocessed but gets stored somewhere in the mind. And without us realizing it, it dictates our behavior, it dictates our belief pattern, and we behave accordingly. So, how exactly do we declutter our mental space? Well, there are some very simple techniques with which you can do this. First and foremost, introspect. Spend time every day introspecting. At the end of every day, spend at least 10 to 15 minutes reflecting on how your day was, how you behaved in a certain situation, how it could have been different, how it can be better. Secondly, write down. Maintain a journal. When you maintain a journal and when you write things down, you're actually physically taking things out from here and putting them down on paper, taking an objective view of the whole thing. It is like holding up an article and saying, oh, do I need it or do I not need it? The things that you write down can be the way you reacted in a certain situation, your opinions, your beliefs, or even the input that you have got from others. Thirdly, be open to input from other people. Take timely and good inputs from other people. It's always important that whenever somebody gives you an input, you spend some time reflecting upon it, thinking upon it, instead of immediately accepting it or rejecting it. This way, you are really doing self-analysis of how exactly you feel about that input. In the process, you discover a few things about yourself. Last but not the least, be self-aware. Yes, be self-aware. Spend time thinking about yourself. We spend a lot of time thinking about others, other people and other things, but not even half the time being self-aware and thinking about ourselves. It's equally important that we know ourselves. Do these things and a few more, and you will find that your mental space gets decluttered. You get rid of all unnecessary mental baggage, and you feel much more light and free. You will discover many things that you didn't know that you have, and some talent, some thoughts, and some creative impulse which you think that you had lost. To know more about this, feel free to give me a call or drop me an email, and I'll be very, very happy to help you with decluttering your mental space. Till then, start the things that I've already told you. This is Captain Nitin Joshi, soft skill trainer and writer, signing off.